Hello, everybody. April 1st, quiz number 25. Hope you played an April Fool's joke on somebody. I tried to on my kids, but they were on top of it. They already knew it was April Fool's, so they didn't fall for anything. Anyway, I tried, but they're smart now. You know, they already prepared. So I had a good weekend. I had a book signing in Erin Mills, and somebody bought two books. Unbelievable. It was for a raffle, a gift. And they said, well, you know what? Give me another one. And I thought, wow, that's awesome. Music to my ears. What a bonus. Anyway, let's get to the quizzes. On Friday, I left you with the term stuck fermentation. Now, for winemakers and brewers, you already know what this means probably. But I'll explain it in layman's terms. I'll use wine as an example. When the vintner picks the grapes off the roots, off the branches, they take it to the winery, they destem it, crush it, out comes the grape juice. They put the grape juice into a large vat. And what the winemaker does then is add some yeast to it. And they raise the temperature 85, 90 Fahrenheit, and the fermentation begins. And what this yeast does, it turns the grape sugars to alcohol. And a CO2 is emitted, and it causes bubbles on top of the cap. Now they have to keep punching the cap down, as you know, so that it doesn't, harden too much and everything mixes well. And when the CO2 ends, usually that means that's the end of the fermentation because the yeast is all gone. Well, sometimes what happens is the yeast is all gone, but the winemaker will taste the wine and it'll taste sugary, which he doesn't want. And basically a stuck fermentation is when the yeast finishes before all the grape sugars have turned into alcohol. It's not dry, the wine. And it's a terrible thing when it happens because, how do you know how much more yeast to add to get rid of the rest of the sugar that's left in the wine that's been fermented? So it's kind of a bad thing. You can add too much yeast and you end up with yeasty wine, like it tastes like sourdough bread or something. Smells like it. So usually what they have to do is throw out the lot, throw out the bunch. It's sort of, it's a shame, but it doesn't happen often because they're professionals. They know what they're doing. They know what kind of yeast to add and what kind of, how much to add. So all these grape sugars turn to alcohol. And they know the fermentation's working because the CO2 bubbles up on top of the surface on the cap, which they keep pushing down. And that's how wine's made. Yeast, grape juice, 85, 90 Fahrenheit. Let me see, 30 Celsius, 28 Celsius, whatever. And the bubbles come up, caps pushed down, bubbles finished, CO2's finished. That means the fermentation's complete. And the yeast has disappeared because it's gone. It's all used up. And what you should have is a dry wine now with no taste of sugar. Okay. So basically, simply put, it's when the yeast runs out before the grape sugars are turned into alcohol. That's what a stuck fermentation is. Now, today's quiz. We're going to do kitchen now, culinary. What is a roux? What is a roux? R-O-U-X. Okay? All right, you all have a great day. It's sunny and cold here, but it's sunny anyway. All right? Take care. And from Guelph, Canada, Guelph, Ontario, Canada, have a great day. Bye-bye.